Hello, welcome back to another episode of Deuces Podcast. I'm your host Deuce, and welcome back to another episode. Get your water, get your snacks, get whatever. Just chill, and we're just chill, I guess. And I'll let you gather yourself around or whatever. Anyways, this episode's mostly gonna be focused on Clair Obscur Expedition 33, which, oh my gosh, this game is probably one of the best RPGs I ever played. It is one of the best visually games I ever played. The music in this game is amazing. The ending of this game is wonky, but it's definitely works, and I think we can say this for certain that this game is absolute cinema. Like that's why I had the top left absolute cinema, because this game is absolute cinema. It is an amazing game, and it is one of the best RPGs I ever played. One of the best games I ever played. And I don't think anything's gonna top this. So I think it's a solid lock that this game is gonna be the game of the year. There's a lot of reasons that this game is amazing. So first of all, the way the game's spoilers, by the way. I'm gonna leave this here because put spoilers for Expedition 33, Zero, Last Story, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, the opening of this game literally starts with Gustav, the main character, and his wife. And his wife's 33, and so once the paintress paints 33 on the thing, everyone who's that age, everyone who's that age, or above, I think, below, but anyway, his wife dies basically, and everyone just withers away. It's like Avengers Infinity War. It's like, I don't feel so good type stuff. And so every year they go on this expedition to stop the paintress and to stop the cycle of death. And so now Gustav's part of the expedition with a lot of the other buddies. And so they sail off, this epic music playing. It's like, oh, here we go, we're going on an adventure, da 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 da. And then immediately this old dude pops up. And this dude asks, how'd you survive the gomage? Because this dude looks old. He basically says, you're old. And so basically, after that, he keeps questioning him, and then bam, this dude swipes his head off. And everyone's screaming, running, and this old dude is just swinging with this big sword. And once they hide, they're they'll try to hide, and basically, Gustav gets wiped up into another place, and it's it's amazing. So I can't describe the entire game, but the way the game starts, that was that I just told you. That was the prologue. That was the beginning of the game, and it is probably one of the best openings to a video game that I have ever played. The way it just kicks from 0 to 100 real quick is something I have never seen from a video game like that, and I think that's why this game is very good. very, very, very good. Now, I don't think this game is perfect. There are there are a few problems I have. First of all, the ending of this game is really wonky, but like, once I looked up at videos and all that, and like, rewatched cutscenes, it made a lot more sense. And there's like, it's so crazy how the game ends. But one thing is for certain, you can't tell me that this is one of the best, one of the greatest video game soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. Like, first, the Flying Waters battles themes. Like first you're hearing these lazy scene, and then you're like in this like water, and then the next enemy, this Go Blue, whatever, it's just a dance. It's like, it goes from like do do do, and then it just goes like raving, like dancing and everything. You're like, you feel like you got dance while you're in the water, and it's crazy. And of course the main theme, the Alicia theme or whatever it's called, the main theme is also amazing. Like, every time you open up the game, you just hear that legendary, like, holy song just blessing your ears. And you know, I compared this game a lot to another game that was my game of the year last year, which was For Fantasio. And this game really is like one-on-one that, but I feel like this game is way more modernized. And I can't even. Expedition 33 is an amazing game art. It is a great game, and I cannot recommend it enough. Now, I will say it's a bit challenging because I went on the Expedition difficulty, which is basically the normal difficulty. I played RPG games before. This should be, fine. And it was fine. There were a couple tough enemies. So I got to like the end of the game where I'm like, oh, okay. So, if you're not a fan of RPG games, I just go with the easier mode. And the story itself is worth the price. And first of all, I forgot to mention the price. This game's not $70. It's not $80. It's not $60. It's not $55. I think it's $45 if I'm not wrong, or $50. It's not a full price game. In this game, it feels like it should be a full price game. Like, they got developers like Mario Kart, Nintendo, getting the new Mario Kart for $80, but like, come on, like, it's crazy how full price games are even worth it, but the games that are not full price feel like they're actually worth it. Except for Fantasio, because that game was full price, but I still like the game. But I was thinking, like, when I bought this game, I was like, everyone's talking about how great this game is, how it's a game of the year contender, and then literally Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out, I think, that like last week, I think, which I haven't played. I don't know if I'm gonna play it, because who knows, I got stuff going on in the fall, and I don't know, it just doesn't look like it for me. I might play it. $70 price is crazy, but do Donkey Kong. I mean, I'm not a big Donkey Kong fan. I mean, the only Donkey Kong game I ever played was like an hour or two of Tropical Freeze, and yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna play Bonanza, but I have seen spoilers of the game, and let me just say that the ending of the game is very crazy. But anyways, I don't think I'm gonna play it on Comp Bonanza. And what else? What else can I glaze this game about, bro? What else can I glaze Expedition 33 about? It's visually, it's an amazing game. Like, I was blown away by the visuals of this game and how pretty the game looked at times. Like, sometimes I have to put the controller down and just sit there and just like be like, wow, this is absolute cinema. This is gaming at its finest. And if this game doesn't win Game of the Year, it's gonna be nominated. It's 100% gonna be nominated for Game of the Year at the Game Awards. But I feel like it has to win Game of the Year, because if this game doesn't, if they give it to Donkey Kong, that'd be very funny. That would be very fun. That would be the funniest thing of all time to give it to Donkey Kong instead of Expedition 33. That would be very, very funny. But I think it's usually I play games and be like, okay, this is Game of the Year. So like, when I played Tears of the Kingdom, I was like, okay, this is Game of the Year. And then I played Spider-Man 2. I was like, okay, this is Game of the Year. And then when I played Hi-Fi Rush way back, I was like, okay, this is a great game. I don't know if it's a Game of the Year, but it's definitely a contender. It feels like it has to be a contender. Like Hi-Fi Rush has to be a contender for Game of the Year in 2023. It wasn't, but yeah, I still think about what Game of the Year that year was. Like, I think of like Tears of the Kingdom, but was like, it didn't blow me away like Breath of the Wild did, but it was still a way better game with way more things to do. And I like that, but like the story was kind of just and I mean, it felt satisfying. It feel great to finish that game. It felt the final boss was great. You know, all the characters in that game were great. And yeah. Okay, the combat. I forgot to talk about the combat system. So the combat in Expedition 33, usually, you know, you go like in turn-based games. Usually, you just press a button, attack, skill, and then the other person attacks, and you can't usually do nothing about it, unless you have like a item where you can just block, or a skill where you can like block one time. But in Expedition 33, Clerics for Expedition 33, you can dodge, you can parry, you can jump, and you can use a gradient counter. There's a lot of things you can do. There's probably a way. I probably haven't looked this up, but somebody has probably no hit and everything. Like in Metaphor, you can't like, you know, can't take damage like all that, or like do run like that. But in Claire Score Expedition 33, you can do something like that. It is possible, but I'm not that crazy. I'm not that crazy at video games. I'm not a crazy gamer. But you know, it's gonna be hard to play another video game that's gonna like wow me. Like usually when I play video games, I don't get that wow factor anymore, and I feel like with Claire Score Expedition 33, I feel like I got that wow factor. But like with Metaphor, I didn't get that wow factor. But in this game, I felt like I got like a lot of like OMG moments, like what just happened moments. Like it's a crazy game, and again, I can't highly, I mean, I highly recommend this game. The price is worth it. Like this is an amazing game, bro. I just can't say enough. So in baseball, MLB baseball, All-Star break just ended. The Astros are struggling as of late. There's a lot of people on the injured list, and it's gonna be hard to defend the division like that. It's gonna be hard to win the division with all your players that are on the injured list. Also, there was a tweet I just saw today where John Singleton got like designated for assignment, and his wife was a source, which is crazy if your wife is a source. But yeah, again, I think usually, I mean, I said like the Ashes win the World Series. I said Dodgers win the World Series. You know, the Cubs are doing really good. The Rangers are starting to get hot. The Brewers at one point were the best team in baseball, and then the Toronto Blue Jays have just been the best team in the American League. But I can't say for certain how the season will end. You know, it could all the season could be just for the Dodgers to repeat again. Like, I think that is the realistic scenario, is that the Dodgers do repeat, because I think their team is way better than they were last year. They have healthy pitchers. The lineup isn't as strong as it was last year, but I think their pitching is way better. And for the team like the Cubs, you got Kyle Tucker, and you got Seiya Suzuki. You got Pete Crow Armstrong, who has been a star this year. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know how the season will end, but that'll be interesting. Also, did see somewhere where Emmanuel Clase, the closer for the reliever, whatever, for the Cleveland Guardians, was like suspended because, or like something happened with him because of with gambling and stuff. But like, honestly, I'm not surprised with a lot of these players getting caught, because sports leagues nowadays just promote gambling and just all that betting everywhere. Like, literally, I think there's a network called FanDuel Network, and they just give ads of FanDuel, who are you gonna pick to bet on this game, or what's your parlay or something. Which I think is you shouldn't be surprised when you find out players doing suspicious pitches, suspicious actions, and then being what's the problem here? I think that's really weird, really interesting, and it's a really interesting thing, really interesting topic that it's affecting sports everywhere. It's affecting everywhere in the country, and yeah. Now there's just this there's a press conference with Deion Sanders, the head coach of the Colorado, I almost said Rockies. The Colorado college team, or oh my gosh, I can't remember. The Colorado Buffaloes, is that what it? Anyways, the head coach of the University of Colorado, Deion Sanders. He has his press conference. Everyone's with his medical, with a doctor, and it was oh, gee, he's gonna retire. And then so oh no, he had bladder cancer, now he's free from bladder cancer or something. And so everyone just kind of overreacted. I didn't pay attention really until I saw something about it, and I was oh, okay. And then the next day it was oh, okay, just the same reaction. And finally, I want to talk about a movie I just saw, Fantastic Four, which First Steps. I did see Superman, and I don't know if I said anything about Superman, but Superman's a great movie. It's a super movie, and it's my movie of the year. I haven't seen that much movies this year, but it's a fantastic movie. But the same thing can't be said with the Fantastic Four First Steps. which I didn't think wasn't a fantastic movie. I thought it was a okay, like pretty good movie, to put it best. It's a safe film. They don't do anything crazy. I don't think. And I'm not gonna. Basically, it's not a fantastic. It's not a amazing movie. I'll just put like. I'm not gonna say anything else because I don't want to say anything crazy. But if I have to give a rating, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 for Fantastic Four, and for Superman, I give it a 8.5. I can give it an 8 out of 10. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode of Deuces Podcast. If you like more of these, please subscribe, like, and ring the bell for notifications when I get new episodes or any videos I do on this channel. And with that, I think I'm just gonna play some music and I'll be out here. Deuces.